last year. I haven't had a check because normally I don't have to, but this fucking young partner for this guy I'm chairman of I don't care. We got to do a full Nexus Lexus bullshit check on Mr. Peña. 7 weeks later, they come back and they supposedly spent $20,000. We couldn't find anything on Mr. Peña in the United States. He's an enigma. I haven't lived there 30 years. I have no credits, no credit score, no nothing. And so I asked Mike, the kid, CEO, what does that mean? He says, it means they wasted $20,000 and everybody passed. Now this is a guy that was a kid that got in trouble, a lot of trouble when he was a kid. He's now, in his late 30s, but he got in a lot of trouble in jail and shit like that. Yeah.
What does that mean that they've got nothing on you?
There's no record. I have no credit. I have nothing. There's no records of me. The records normally only go back 20, 25 years, and I haven't lived there in 30 years.
Okay.
So.
Oh, right now there's nothing.
Yeah, there's nothing.
Okay.
And if they went back, if they went back to my military record and looked at my DD 1014, but they didn't do that. Just because he was an unindicted co-conspirator, and most of the directors that have troubles in their background, they're SEC related, Security Exchange related. They were involved in some deal that the kids that are up there on the Hall of Shame got in trouble because they sold securities illegally. They were told by some dipshit lawyer, some $50 an hour lawyer, that it wasn't a security, and it was a security. And if it is a security, you're subject to security exchange rules. And there's all kinds of, you got to have a net worth of $2 million without your house. You have to be considered a sophisticated investor. Used to be in some states 35 investors or less, and there's all kinds of series of shit. And the EU has the same thing. They call it something different. So because you don't want to pay £300,000 to have a private placement memorandum put and register with the Security Exchange Commission or the equivalent thereof in the EU, or you want to don't do the same in the U.S., you take the fucking moron lawyer, your fifth cousin, who just got out, is one step away from being disbarred, and you use that letter to convince yourself, just like some of you try to convince me that you're in a better shape than you are, and you go to jail. Half the guys up there are committed securities fraud, and one of them. And if you commit securities fraud in Canada, which is really liberal, you really got to fuck up. Because Canada gives you a second chance, a third chance, and a fourth chance. And their excuse, I'm told, because our prison population is overpopulated. That's the same shit that they use in California. When the guy shoots the fucking girl in Berkeley, that 14 times arrested, 11 times deported. Then he shoots some fucking poor girl. Then he gets off. If you don't see something wrong, that's why I'm for the wall. And my mother and grandmother swam that fucking Rio Grande River as illegal aliens in 1924. To my Latino brothers and sisters, my proceeds, you know the story. Elon put up all his money, and then when he didn't have money to pay rent, it looks like he may be back there again. We won't have money to pay rent.
Rock, verify range go. Range green.
First stage tank pressing up.
A well-put out critique of whatever you're doing is as valuable as gold. That third failure in a row, did you think, I need to pack this in? No. Why not? I don't ever give up. I mean, I'd have to be dead or living incapacitated. 8 weeks later, Musk...
He'd have to be dead.
...on another flight.
Okay.
This time around, found, everything worked.
Perfect.
If that foot flush had worked, that would have been it.
Enough of Elon. And all the guys and gals that I've described over the last 100 years would rather be dead than fail. Now, in today's politically sensitive world, that's strong. That's too overwhelming for the little snowflakes. Dead's permanent. Unless you don't do it right. And I've had a couple that didn't do it right. They blew the side of their face off and then they're still alive. When you're going to do it, you stick it in your fucking mouth up against the roof of your mouth and you lean forward and pull the trigger, metaphorically speaking. Or you have somebody do it for you, right in the temple, right here, so it comes out this side, metaphorically speaking. And but they're all the same. They would rather die. They would all rather be dead than poor again. And that's why not that many people make it to the top of the pyramid. And then once you get to the top of the pyramid, it's harder to stay there than get there. We're going to go through the role playing of the Dream Team tomorrow. We've talked about the Dream Team this afternoon, and and as Josh will attest to, your first Dream Team isn't going to be necessarily your permanent Dream Team. In fact, they may be only your transitory Dream Team and not even semi-permanent. But when you work on these guys and gals to get them, then you just you think your whole world ended because especially if one resigns and when they don't answer your email for 4 or 5 weeks, guess what? They're gone. And don't send out your executive summary still listing their name if you haven't talked to them in 5 weeks. But you want to because you don't have any replacement. And because the way your motivation, you won't even be replacing them until you hear from him or her that they quit. Week after week, month after month. And then I drop you out of the mentor program. I said, I'm only going to tell you 1 more week. Get rid of them, call them, go see them. And then when you don't do that, what does that mean? You weren't serious to begin with. You'll engage, human nature is to engage in self-sabotaging activities. Just like, and we don't have anybody too obese in here, but just like reduce calories, exercise is how you maintain weight. Everybody on the planet must know that. Yet 60% of Americans are obese and 50% of Brits are obese. And I don't know the stats in any place else. Now, when Sally and I were in Rwanda seeing the silverback gorillas, we asked our bodyguards and driver, one was named Bosco. And I said that, I've been here 5 days and I haven't seen one fucking fat person. And Bosco, I forget the other bodyguard's name, and thin guys. And they said, they're on the Rwanda diet. You walk or run 10 miles a day to get water, not to get food. And so there's not an abundance. That you can do deals in the African continent, believe me. But South Africa right now is ripe. Is ripe. And Josh and I have been poking fun at it, but it's ripe. Let's see. Any questions? I don't want to get started on this, and we don't want to waste the YouTube time listening to fucking Elon tell that the next video is he would rather do seppuku, commit suicide, than lose money. And I told you he's already reneged on that, and so, but his more or less his real personality is coming out. Okay, bye-bye YouTube.